Okay, Tracy.
You want me to do the acknowledgement now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I know our guest is coming in on Indian land, but at one stage, Australia and India were connected millions of years ago. The Aboriginal people, the different nations and tribes that have lived in Australia, the Australian continent and islands, have been living according to their instructions that they received from the Creator of how to live in harmony with the land and with each other and those guests who came to their land. So technically speaking, we are all guests within Australia on Aboriginal land. So we want to pause and thank our guests and give respect and honour to them and to their honouring of their teachings and their ethics and worldview, which was very respectful to the Creator and to the rest of creation. And it's good to pause and to think about the energy which remains in this land from all their accumulated efforts of being obedient and of caring. And even though so much has been lost in the last 250 years, there is much that remains and that can be revived if we listen and we allow it to have the space to have a voice, and we open our hearts to hear. So just if we could just ponder that as well as the other things that we will hear tonight. Thank you.
Create in me a pure heart, oh my God, oh my God, and renew a tranquil conscience within me, oh my hope, through the Spirit of power, confirm thou me in thy cause, oh my best beloved, confirm thou me in thy cause, and by the light of thy glory reveal unto me thy path. By the light unto me thy path, O thou the goal of my desire, and through the power of thy transcendent might, lift me up unto the heaven of thy holiness, O source of my being, and by the breezes of thine eternity, gladden me, O thou who art my God. Let thine everlasting melodies breathe tranquility on me, O my companion. Let the riches of thine ancient countenance deliver me from all except thee, O my Master, O my Master. And let the tidings of the revelation of thine incorruptible essence bring me joy. O thou who art the most manifest of the manifest, and the most hidden of the hidden, the most manifest of the manifest, and the most hidden of the hidden of the hidden of the hidden.
Intone, O my servant, the verses of God that have been received by thee, as intoned by them who have drawn nigh unto him, that the sweetness of thy melody may kindle thine own soul and attract the hearts of all men. Whoso reciteth in the privacy of his chamber the verses revealed by God, the scattering angels of the Almighty shall scatter abroad the fragrance of the words uttered by his mouth, and shall cause the heart of every righteous man to throb. Though he may at first remain unaware of its effects, yet the virtue of the grace vouchsafed unto him must needs sooner or later exercise its influence upon his soul. Thus have the mysteries of the revelations of God been decreed by virtue of the will of him who is the source of power and wisdom, Baha'u'llah.
There is a polish for everything that becomes rusty, and the polish for the heart is the remembrance of God. Islam, Hadith of Tirmidhi. The regular act of prayer is sacred obligation upon believers in its prescribed times. When you have completed the prayer rite, keep God in constant recollection. Remember your Lord in your soul with humility and reverence morning and evening. Islam, Muhammad, the Quran, Surah 4, verse 104, and Surah 7, verse 205.
May this word of my mouth and this meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. My mouth will speak words of wisdom. The meditation of my heart will give you understanding. May my meditation be pleasing to him as I rejoice in the Lord. And we all who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory are being transformed into this image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. Christian Scriptures.
Reflect, O people, on the grace and blessings of your Lord, and yield him thanks at eventide and dawn. We have commanded you to pray and fast from the beginning of maturity. This is ordained by God, your Lord, and the Lord of your forefathers. Baha'u'llah, Kitab Yaqtas. Let not thy tongue pay lip service in praise of God, while thy heart be not attuned to the exalted summit of glory and the focal point of communion. The most acceptable prayer is the one offered with the utmost spirituality and radiance. Its prolongation hath not been and is not beloved of God. The Bab.
The wisdom of prayer is this, that it causes a connection between the servant and the true one. Because in that state, men will all heart and soul turn at his face towards his highness, the Almighty, seeking his association and desiring his love and compassion. The greatest happiness for a lover is to converse with his beloved, and the greatest gift for a seeker is to become familiar with the object of his longing. That is why with every soul who is attracted to the kingdom of God, his greatest hope is to find an opportunity to entreat and supplicate before his beloved, appeal for his mercy and grace, and be immersed in the ocean of his utterance, goodness, and generosity. Beside all this, prayer and fasting is the cause of awakening and mindfulness and conducive to protection and preservation from test. The obligatory prayer is revealed from the supreme pen. Tablets of Abdu'l-Baha, page 683 to 684.
O thou who art turning thy face towards God, close thine eyes to all things else, and open them to the realm of all glorious. Ask whatsoever thou wishest of him alone. Seek whatsoever thou seekest from him alone. With a look he granted 100,000 hopes. With a glance he healeth 100,000 incurable ills. With a nod he layeth balm on every wound. With a glimpse he freeth the hearts from the shackles of grief. He doeth as he doeth, and what recourse have we? He carrieth out his will. He orders what he pleases. Then better for thee to bow down thy head in submission and put thy trust in the all-merciful Lord. Selections from the writings of Abdu'l-Baha, page 51.
O Son of Spirit, ask not of me that which we desire not for thee. Then be content with what we have ordained for thy sake. For this is that which profiteth thee, if therewith thou dost content thyself. A servant is drawn unto me through prayers until I answer him. And when I have answered his prayers, I become the ear wherewith he heareth. O man of two visions, close one eye and open the other. Close one to the world and all that there is therein, and open the other to the hallowed beauty of the beloved. O son of earth, wouldst thou have me seek none other than me? And wouldst thou gaze upon my beauty, close thine eyes to the world and all that is therein, for my will and the will of another than me, even as fire and water cannot dwell together in one heart. Baha'u'llah, Arabic hidden words.
Thou hast asked me concerning the nature of the soul. Know verily that the soul is a sign of God, a heavenly gem, whose reality the most learned of men hath failed to grasp, and whose mystery no mind, how acute, can ever hope to unravel. It is the first among all created things to declare the excellence of its creator, the first to recognize his glory, to cleave to his truth, and to bow down in adoration before him. If it be faithful to God, it will reflect his light and will eventually return unto him. If it fail, however, its allegiance to its creator, it will become a victim to self and passion, and will in the end sink in their depths. Baha'i Scriptures.
Urge thou to ponder. Urge thou to ponder in thy heart from now until the end of that has no end, and with all the concentrated intelligence and understanding which the greatest minds have attained in the past or will attain in the future. This divinely ordained and subtle reality, this sign of the revelation of the all-abiding, all-glorious God, thou wilt fail to comprehend its mystery or to appraise its virtue. Having recognized thy powerlessness to attain to an adequate understanding of that reality which abideth within thee, thou wilt readily admit the futility of such effort as may be attempted by thee or by any of the created things. To fathom the mystery of the living God, the day star of unfading glory, the ancient of everlasting days. This confession of helplessness, which matured contemplation must eventually impel every mind to make is in itself the acme of human understanding and marks the culmination of man's development. Baha'u'llah, Baha'i Scripture.
Your souls have hearkened to the summons of thy kingdom, and have gazed upon the glory of the Son of Truth. They have risen upward to the refreshing skies of love. They are enamored of thy nature, and they worship thy beauty. Unto thee have they turned themselves, speaking together of thee, seeking out thy dwelling, and thirsting for the water brooks of thy heavenly realm. Thou art the giver, the bestower, the ever loving.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome all. I think we may have few visitors who joined after we started. Is Dr. Arum there, please? Is he there? I thought he joined there.
No.
Okay. All right. Now, this is a interfaith meeting that we have been having. This is the 90th one. And to bring an understanding among different religions and bring about unity. And we learn from each other, and we try to bring common understanding from various different perspectives. So we try to avoid divisive discussions. And I like to remind everyone this particular quotation that we have. It says, whether through deeds or words, the merit of your very contribution to social well-being lies first in your resolute commitment to discover that precious point of unity where contrasting perspectives overlap and around which contending peoples can coalesce. So we try to bring common understanding, though in any topic we may have different opinions. And so now we have our distinguished guest. Her credentials are very, very high. And I have to say how I actually got in contact with her. There is a program that is going on internet. I don't know how many of you know about Tirukkural and Tiruvalluvar. Right. It's Thiruvalluvar is a great poet who lived more than 2,000 years ago, and he wrote the couplets, 1,330 couplets, 133 chapters, each of 10 couplets, on mainly about the virtues and how we should have a family and how a government should have. So there is in Tamil, they were reading it continuously for many days. And I was just listening to it, and Dr. Ravi was one day presenting this both in Tamil as well as in English. So I listened to her, and then I got connected with her, and I asked whether she would like to give a presentation in our talk. She said yes. Now, she actually she's from Tamil Nadu, and she speaks the same language as her mother tongue is the same. And she is currently an assistant professor of English at Manna Tirumalai Nayakar College. Having obtained a BA, MA, and PhD in English, she started teaching in 2007, even before she got a PhD, probably when she was doing her MPhil. She has authored 4 books, co-authored 4 other books, and contributed chapters to 12 other books, and published several research papers and articles. And she is a poet too. And I think one of the 4 books is a collection of poems. She is concerned about the well-being of the society and uses her YouTube channel for altruistic purposes. And this is the link. And if you have time, you can go and see these things. And I saw a couple of them. They were with the students. She was organizing them to have street drama, addressing social issues, and many other things. They are there. So in her own way, she is trying to build a new world, I believe. So I can now invite our distinguished guest, Dr. Ravi Arum, to give her presentation. Welcome.
Smiling petals of fragrant flowers list to you. Good evening. Good evening to everyone who are all present here through this live stream. First of all, I would like to thank the Interfaith Prayer meeting convener, my father, who seems to be Mr. Siva Perisa, and all the dignitaries on this live stream. I'm very happy to present this first presentation on the power of mind, how we must increase the powerful thought, and also by using powerful words, it may lead to powerful actions also. I would like to sing a song first. This is Interfaith meeting. This is a song by Mahatriyara. You all know, of course. Feeling thy presence, feeling thy grace, feeling thy radiance. You are my source of faith and strength. You are my path and destination. I'm always connected to you. Nothing of me and everything of you. Lead me higher, lead me deeper, lead me beyond lead me to you. With God, we are all hero, and without God, we are all zero. So this prayer builds a man first. The God within us builds the character of a man, how to act in this society. This worldly life is a beautiful gift. That's why we call each minute and a present. Miracles happen to all human beings by using the magic power of our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is like a garden. There may be many blossoms of flowers if we think positively. And I would like to tell a story. Often you have heard it. Once there was an woodcutter, and he was very tired of cutting the woods. So he walked for a long distance. Almost he walked and walked and walked. And at last he reached a paradise, but he did not know that he has reached the paradise. And there he watched a beautiful tree. And immediately by looking at the tree, he thought of taking rest under the shelter of the tree, under the shade of the tree. So he went and sat down. He breathed in the air. And first he thought, I'm so tired and I want to take rest for a while. So he thought like this, and immediately he took rest. And after that, he felt much hungry, and he thought, if all the foods, whatever I like, if it is provided here, I will be very happy to taste it, he thought. And immediately, what are all the dishes he loved? It was in front of him. And he tasted the food, then quenched many drinks also, whatever he wished. And after that, he was much satisfied. My stomach is stodgy. The food is also satiety. I'm very happy. Whatever I think, here it happened. So first I asked for rest. I had rest. And I asked for different varieties of food items. And I had, okay, chocolates, ice creams, then all the other healthy food items he had. Then next I asked for drinks. And all the juices, whatever I liked, I had. And now he thought, I want, this physical body is of much tired. So if there are any angel-like women, if they come and dance in front of me, or just relieve my stress, he thought like that. And immediately many angel-like women appeared in front of him. They danced, and he was enjoying their dance song. And he was always wondering how it happened so. Whatever I think, it happened so in this tree, under this tree. And now he had a negative thought. What will happen if a tiger comes here and pounces on me and kills me like that? And immediately a tiger comes and pounces on him. And after that only, this man comes to know that this tree is nothing but a tree called Kalpataru, Kalpaga Virshaga tree. In Tamil we call Kalpaga Virsha Maram. And that Kalpataru tree is nothing but your inner mind. Whatever we asketh for, surely it will be given. Your inner mind has such power. That subconscious mind is not imaginary. It is very real. It is an integral part of us. It can help us on how to unlock our power. Our mind always plays a key role and acts as a key to unlock this treasure of power. It is all very much like a supercomputer also that is in place to help us create our life experience. Throughout our life, we have programmed our subconscious mind with the thought of habits and beliefs. And just like any of our other habits, the thoughts that we have repeated to ourselves have become habits. So if we have powerful and good thoughts, surely our action also will be good. I would like to ask you a question. Why God has placed our eyes in front side of our face? And the answer is, why God has placed our eyes in front means we must walk forward to right destiny. Walk forward. That's why God has placed our eyes in front of our face. If it is backward, we will go backwards. That's why from this we can understand with the positive notes, God has placed our eyes in front of our face. Then if we do scientific researches on our mind, that 86% of our mind thinks only negatively, and we must come over from this pessimistic thought. We must program our mind to read positive thought books every day. Without God, I cannot. Without me, God will not. God bless me, anything is possible. That's what my principle too. And in the words of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the human mind is like a package of mustard seeds. As it is very difficult to gather the seeds that escape out of a torn package, which have been scattered in all directions. So when the mind runs diverse directions and it is occupied with many worldly things, it is not very easy task to collect and concentrate it. So we must allow to concentrate what is at the hand first, and we must do our duty well. What is important in this world? Which is the biggest thing in the world? You are bigger than everything you own. Whatever you have, either it is car or mobile phone or whatever the facilities, okay? You may be an aristocrat, but you are the biggest thing in the world, the biggest human being, the most precious than everything you possess. You are more important than everything that has come to your life, either it is happiness or sadness, rather than you are the most biggest thing. Then, what is the major problem of each person? It is not the people in the outside world, but their own hearts and minds. Both the mind and heart must be cleansed first. First of all, we must like to cleanse our mind. If you are tensed, the immediate solution how to relax our tension is just to go and wash your hand, rub your hand at least for 20 to 30 seconds. Surely your mind will be relaxed. That perplexed mind, the confused state of your mind will be relieved. Okay. There will not be peace without change of heart, especially without the inward transformation. I would like to give an example. You are walking along the road, and on the road there are many thorns. There are so many thorns. How you will cross the road at first? If there are many thorns, we cannot spread a very big blanket and we cannot walk on that blanket. It is impossible. And the second choice, If we pick up all the thorns and try to walk, it will take a long time. We cannot reach the destination where we want to go immediately. So it is also mere waste. And what is the solution? Just wear a pair of slippers or shoes. It may not hurt you. Just this single thought, how to get away from this thorny roads. So this transformation, it is not from the outside world, it is within us. The change of heart must be the inward transformation. First, we must try to change ourselves. Then we can try to change this society. Okay. All stress and tension in this life is nothing but the accrual of psychological pressure caused by the gap between when something should have been done and when it was eventually done. So first, what you must do, procrastination is the most certain way to shorten one's lifespan. Postponement is the signature of underachievements. We can do tomorrow, we can do an hour after, we can do after a year, after a month. Like this, if we postpone and postpone certain things, what will happen? Nothing we cannot achieve. So procrastination is the signature of the underachievers. Life will not postpone our death. Life will not postpone our death. God has written our fate. This time, this man must die. So let us not postpone our life. This life itself a gift. Let us inculcate the habit of positive thought and try to do certain things immediately, what God has given at your hands. If you attempt for a noble venture, distress will never touch you in near future. We must be like a soft flower when it comes to kindness, but tough as a thunder when it comes to principle. Okay. The mind is our friend and the mind is our enemy. Whatever, how we treat, sometimes if we stand in a nearby the gutter and if we think about the smell and the beauty of a rose flower, what will happen? You will forget the entire, that gloomy, that bad stink to your nose, that gutter. Okay. So the thought plays a vital role. When we think about the rose and the fragrance of the flower, we will be very happy. So a thing of joy is a thing of, joy is forever. A thing of joy is also forever. Everything, it is in our mind. Our mind is our friend. Our mind is also our enemy. It is our treasure house, and our subconscious mind is like a garden. We must sow good thoughts, and good plants may grow very young, but it never grows old. Learn the power of breathing and its relationship with your energy source. When we are tensed, try to inhale and exhale deeply, slowly. The mind is intimately connected with our breathing. So try to inhale and exhale. We all get energy only by breathing. Breathing is a good exercise. And through this breath only, God is also there. We can feel the power of God only by breathing well. And God just uses the same cloth for creating all men. We all can be hero if we choose. If we choose, if we can be hero, if we choose that cloth, greatness comes by doing a few small and smart things consistently. Okay, so whatever the profession or whatever your personal life may be, do your ordinary things in an extraordinary way. So extraordinary thing with great effort and sincerity, with the blessings of God, will make you this ordinary life an extraordinary life. So everything is in your hand, it is in your thought. And when the light of the sun is reflected into our room through glass panes and curtains, and if the glass panes are colored and the curtains are heavy, the flow of light into the room is curtailed. When our mind is also clouded with wrong thoughts and perceptions of egoistic consciousness, the reflection of the ever-present divine power and the grace on our mind is diluted and restricted. So in other words, the inflow of divine gifts of love and grace is in proportion to our faith in divine supremacy. To enhance our concentration, the power of focus, we must practice. First, we must have this habit of lighting a candle. When we read a book, just light a candle nearby you on the table. It will be very happy. Our reading also will become pleasant. The whole environment will be very pleasant. This is one step to increase the power of concentration. And there is another thing called rubber band technique. Just to wear a rubber band or a holy thread on the wrist. So whenever you watch this, or just pull that thread or rubber just lightly, okay, we will come to the present. So our negative thoughts will be deleted immediately. Then the third step is, when we walk, just for at least 5 minutes, count your steps when you walk. So this may increase your concentration power also. Then long breathing also increases your power of concentration. These are all the steps to increase the power of concentration. See, focus is not only your ability to say yes to the one, but also the discipline to say to the other 99 distractions. So 99 distractions will be there, which obstructs our mind. So we must try to say, no, I have to focus on this thing. Then we must step forward. So this light dispels darkness, and this higher sublime thought, like a beam of light that clears the dark clouds of wicked thoughts. It may clear, and we will walk in the path of the light. Walk in the light. Walk in the light. Walking in the path of the God. That's what. When we can, so we can control our mind by lighting the candle. At least we have to watch the lamp of the light or the candle light at least for 2 to 3 minutes. And this may also increase our positive thought. Certainly in all the religious temples, churches, mosques, in all the places we could see this divine lamp. So this divine lamp symbolizes that darkness will be dispelled soon and there will be light around us. See, this whole world is a gymnasium, and we have come to this world to strengthen our soul. It says Swami Vivekananda. So we must always try to strengthen our soul So there may be a lot of pressures, unfortunate period, adversity, etc. And I would also like to tell a quote from Shakespeare: "Sweet are the uses of adversity, which like a toad, ugly and venomous, and this is our life, which exempts from public, finds tongues from trees, books from running brooks, sermons from stones, and good in everything." What Shakespeare in this quote, actually this quote is from As You Like It, a play written by Shakespeare. He says, "Sweet are the uses of adversity." Adversity is a person's unfortunate period. When a person is in his unfortunate period, he will not known to this world. He will not be known to this world. He will not be familiar. He will be in utter dark. And he compares this darkness to a toad which has precious stone on its forehead. In Greek mythology, there is a toad which has precious stone on its forehead. When the toad is at a long distance, we cannot see the toad because the toad is utter black, and we could see only the precious stone. Like this, when a man is in his unfortunate period, the period of adversity, he will not be known his efforts, his failures, his darkness, his and the inner feelings may not be revealed to the world. But when he is successful, it is like that of the precious stone, like the toad in the Greek mythology. Okay, and we can learn many things from this nature, says Shakespeare. What he says, finds tongues from trees. Tree does not have any tongue, but what does the tree say? It donates, it sacrifices its roots, trunk, leaves, everything. So we can learn how to donate other people, the needy people at the needy hour. Okay, when we feel thirsty, when we feel when a person feels thirsty, we must quench their thirst by providing at least a glass of water. At the time, we must not say it is for me. Okay, so we must learn how to donate other people. Then books from running brooks. Brook is nothing but a river stream, the running water. The running water never gulps its own water. It provides to everyone. It sacrifices water to all the living creatures. Of course, without water, we can't live. Water is the elixir also. Too much of excessive drinking water also may affect our health, and a little drinking water also may affect our health. So we must try to drink what we need. So what we can understand from this running brook means try to sacrifice. This life is meant for sacrifice. So we must learn how to sacrifice our life from the running stream. And sermons from stones, he says, Shakespeare says, the stone, if you watch it carefully, the stone may not move an inch when it rains or when it shines. It may be there forever. So whatever the problem may be, we must try to be patient. So we learn how to be patient from that stone, and good in everything. That's what we can learn, everything from this nature. How, see, the aura of each tree, the flower, okay, how to increase the aura of a human being also. Ramalinga Adikala, how he enriches the positive aura. Okay, then Jesus Christ, if we see him and the positive aura, the Lord Buddha, then Prophet Muhammad, whatever the religion we take, all those positive auras, they have increased only by meditating and by doing good things to all the other people. We must always keep the youth in us alive. We must try to unload the burden of expectations. Too much of expectation may lead to destruction. Then we must not wait for a miracle to happen. This worldly life, it is already written by God. So we must try to accept everything. Willingness of acceptance is this life. And try to stop your failure by attempting again and again. And be unique to find a solution to the problem also. What is success? What is success? How we can define success? See, if I want to take just a thing which is kept on this table, a photograph, okay? My mind thought, I want to take this paper or this photo, okay? Immediately my hand reaches and I took this photo. So what is success? The distance between thought and action is called success. So whenever we want to achieve a certain thing, so now I want to become a professor. So the thought comes first. We must work hard. It may take a long year, and we must try to achieve our goal. So the distance between thought and distance is called success. So we must increase our thought, first thought, then we must put it into words, and this words will be put it into action. The power of mind is within us, and we must not try to search for it anywhere else. It is within us. So try to increase positive thoughts. The thought produces a strong vibration in each cell of our body and leaves a deep impression on our subconscious mind. So strong impressions beginning from the profundity of the subconscious mind arise in the form of thought and vibrations and mental images, and it directs our actions consequently. So human beings are the makers of our own habits, the circumstances, the character, and our fate also. So these thought vibrations are transmuted to every fiber and nerve of our physical body and cause electrical and chemical and biological change affecting our physical and mental condition. So each good and sublime thought invokes a noble spirit and it instigates our thought. So let us have positive thoughts. The positive power of our mind is within us, and do not try to search for it anywhere else. It is in our subconscious thought. By feeling the blessings of God, try to do the ordinary work in an extraordinary way. Sir?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. You have touched upon many things. I hope they have taken some notes, how to be peaceful, how to be happy, and the power within ourselves. And there may be some questions and comments. So please, friends, use the reaction button to raise your hand. If you can't use the reaction button, then use your physical hand. If I can see, then I will call upon. And we have our friend Yung. Yung, you can unmute and talk.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi, and thank you, Harry. It was interesting to listen to your talk, And the reason why I raised my hand first, because I study and I was also major in English. For our country to be major in English, you will have to go across to study American literature and American history, plus English history and literature. So therefore, you have to command the language and literatures of both countries, and not including French study. So what I'm saying here, I heard you mention about aristocrat, and I heard about you worry about the well-being of people.
I found this on the web for Los Angeles history.
So I said, what class of students that come to your class? Are they come from the, rich or poor people, like family? That's the second one. I heard you mention about Shakespeare. The Shakespeare is one of the English, the old writer.
Jung, can I pause you for a while? Let me address the first question. The first question was what sort of students comes to her class? Is that right?
Yeah, what I'm saying, what I try to get is that her teaching, if it's applied to soldiers in the army, will not be applicable, because in the army they train people to move forward and then to move backward, to walk in front and to step back. Otherwise they get shot. That's one thing. The other thing is the soldier need to know who come behind them. So she said, why the eyes in front of the face, but not at the back. But if you don't see people come behind your back, you get shot and stabbed. That in the army, that's a different training. So this is only a, like random thought, but it's important. So people cannot just only work forward and not moving backward. And that in the army, if you study at the West Point Military Academy, for the elite, for the leadership, for the general and major general, the soldiers need to understand the tactics. And therefore, it is very important that people got to be flexible. And they just can't just, only one mind thinking and not multi-skilling or versatile thought and action.
Okay.
You talk about the spiritual aspect, but for the soldiers, whether they said they get a bullet and die, they don't have time to think about God or spirituality.
Okay.
I hope you understand what I said.
Is there a question that you asked about their students? Did you ask any question about their students?
Yes, I said, if you worry about the well-being of people,
yes.
Normally when people study English or the language because they want to work as a diplomat or in a foreign affairs, but in her case, she studied to become a professor. But what I'm saying, she mentioned also about aristocrats. So I said, the student who come to your class, are they become the upper class, or they become to the middle and a different class?
Okay.
And
So
how you help them? How to help them?
Okay, Jung. So the question is, the students who come to her class, are they going to be in the upper class or middle class or lower class? That's your question. Okay?
No, I'm not talking about lower class. I try to avoid it.
Okay.
You see, I'm very diplomatic that you have to be, if you work for foreign affairs.
I'm trying to understand the question so that if she can try to answer it. So if you can just put the question, I'm trying to rephrase the question, that the students that comes to Dr. Rathi, are they going to be in the upper class or middle class? Is that the question?
Like what sort of training they're gonna become? Will they become leaders or they become follower? Because a lot of negative thought imposed on the people come from the leaders. Like why the inflation is so high? Who put the inflation on? Who put a cost finance on a cost of living? Who did it? It's not a citizen doing it. It's from the ruling class. That's what I try to get into it. Because when we say we worry about the social well-being of people, how are we going to help them?
Okay, maybe I didn't understand the question. If Ravi, Dr. Ravi, if you have understood anything, you can answer.
Oh, okay, sir. Ma'am, very happy to meet you. That you said you are doing American literature and the
No,
quote
both. I mean, I'm doing English and American literature. So you had a broad command of two systems, the two systems of two countries.
Oh, okay, okay.
Plus other European countries.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, broad knowledge. So what sort of class of student that you educate? You want them to be ruling class, or you want them to follow the ruling class? And why you worry about social well-being when most of the problem come on the govern the people come from the ruling class, just like system of slavery.
I said a quote, actually God placed our eyes in front of our face. Actually, this is a quote said by Ralph Waldo Emerson, the transcendentalist, a wonderful writer from America. He only said in his book called The American Scholar, he was a transcendentalist. A good reader will become a good leader, whatever the class may be. Either they may be lower class or upper class. A good reader will become a good leader. To serve the society, one must read a lot and act according to it. Is it clear, ma?
You had to unmute. Young, you had to unmute.
Take it kindly. I'm talking about multi-skilling here. I'm talking about people that have the capacity to see the front of themselves and to see their back, because they need to look after the backside. You know, like in the old day, in Rome, Julius Caesar got stabbed by all his friends, by all his followers from behind himself. So if you only train people look in front and not look at the back, it's not how the army running.
Okay.
Our thought must be forward. That's why we must walk forward. I said like that. It should not be backward, moving backward. That's why I said, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Young. I think what she
Yeah,
was.
okay. Yeah.
Let's listen to Zore and then we will come back to Young. Okay. Zore?
Buddha see everything.
Zore?
Yes, hello. Hello, Doctor. Dr. Ravi. Thank you very much for tonight's talk. It was quite a lot actually to learn. I really loved it. But I wanted to ask if it's possible to explain a little bit about how to cleanse your heart, because you said you wash your hands, but is there some more things to do rather than, I mean, it's very good to wash your hands anyway, that's good, but some more things.
Little distractions, that negative thought certainly will be deleted if we wash our hand with water, because water is a symbol of purification. In all religious temples, we could see they will just bless with water. Water has such power. It has miracles. So first, if we pray to God and sprinkle on our own face, our negative thought must be deleted. Certainly, our negative thoughts will be deleted soon. I agree with this, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. And could you also explain or have some more ways of procrastination, how to stop that one? That's one thing I like to do a little more.
Procrastination is a postponement. We should not.
Yeah, I know. Is there a way to reduce that type of things?
We must try to plan what to do today. We must not procrastinate it. That's what. What is at your hand? Just do the work first. Then what are all the unnecessary things we can avoid it, so that we can do certain things immediately because this is the day in which we live. Tomorrow, yesterday is death. Tomorrow never comes. Unborn tomorrow. Dead yesterday. And why do you fret about them if today is so sweet? So we must live at present and try to do our work immediately. That's what I will do. If anyone asks me to do this, I will immediately do that work. Practice.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I'm perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. There's some comments. Lijaba, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation, but I have to leave. Okay. And okay, and Tracy to you again. I have a few questions, but you said to unburden or unload the burden of expectation. How do you do that? And what is the problem with the expectation? Why expectation is not good?
Whenever we expect, certainly whoever you ask, whatever we have expected, it never happens. So it will be somewhat different. Our whole life is somewhat ironic. So we should not expect at all. We must be as it is. We must train our mind, the willingness of acceptance. We must not expect that fruit. That's what Lord Krishna also says. A few water droplet on the lotus leaf, how it is non-attached to the leaf. Like that, we must live this life in an unbiased way, without showing a lot of expectations or again becoming failure and failure. So we should not expect.
Okay, and there was the 3 steps you mentioned. One was saying yes or no. Oh, counting the steps, and the string or the rubber band. What is the technique? Can you please explain that technique?
Okay, sir. Actually, in some countries they wear a rope like we call holy thread
Okay.
on the wrist.
Yes.
That is a good habit actually. When the holy thread is pressurizing our wrist, when it gives pressure to our wrist, positive thoughts will be there. We will be imagining something else and we will do our work. So when we look at this, immediately we will come to the present. Or rubber band technique is nothing but just with this forefinger and the middle finger or forefinger with this thumb, just strike this wrist 2 or 3 times. Yes.
Right.
We will be present. Our mind will come to present. Won't be thinking unnecessary things. This is what rubber band technique.
Right.
It is also said by Robin Sharma also.
Robin Sharma. Oh, that's one of your books was about T.D. Rajendran and Robin Sharma.
I have done research on Robin Sharma's books. Yes, sir.
So what did he write about Robin Sharma? What was his work?
Top 200 secrets of the world. Yes, like that.
Okay. Thank you. And I may have more questions because you said many things. I will let Ahmad ask his question.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ravi. I enjoyed your talk. And I totally agree with you that we have to be positively minded in our actions. And I think that the concept of being a defender and protector of self is an old concept. And now the world is a village. And the thing that the world needs is respect and kindness in the world. The world would not unite if we keep protecting and have a military mind and self, the concepts of self protection. I think kindness, positive thoughts, and respect is the things of today. And if we don't have those, we will not unite the world. The world needs those things to unite. My question is to you is, how can we be conscious of our actions? How can we daily be able to have this in our mind, that we have to have a positive thought all the time in order to improve ourselves?
Actually, I told in my speech itself, 86% of our human mind will have negative thoughts. So we must come out of it. So how to come out of it? We must always focus on the action. We must try to focus on our action. What we want to do, we must focus on the present time. So if we think about the past, certainly we will be somewhat depressed, digestic mood. We will have in the mood of dejection. We will be always thinking of unhappy event. So when we try to do our work, all our negative thoughts will be deleted.
You know what? Our past has made a drawing in our mind, in our us, and it's hard to overcome it. Like I don't know, if we wanted something to happen or some achievement and we don't achieve it, it's always at the back of our mind that, well, we didn't achieve it. You know, how to come out of that is, as you say, have a positive thought. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I said that if we just light a lamp and watch it for a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes first, we must try to watch the lamp. Just to watch the light of the lamp alone, it may increase our positive thought. I promise you.
So we have to concentrate on things like, looking at a lamp or a light or candle and meditate. Meditate on our thoughts.
For example, I thought of memorizing the longest word in English. I practiced this watching this lamp light. So now with the same tongue like Europeans, I could pronounce also flaxnaus on a helipilification. Like this, flaxinaus in a helipilification, the longest word in English. Like that, it increases our memory power also. If we watch the lamp light.
As we
deletes the.
Sorry, continue. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
As we get older, our memory kind of goes fade and fuzzy, and it's harder when you get aged to remember things and to. So what advice do you have for a person that is getting older and needs concentration of their thoughts?
For me, you're talking for me, right?
No, for me myself as well. Anybody.
So he's asking how to improve.
When we become old, we will forget. Okay, that itself a gift. It is like a river of forgetfulness. This age can be compared to a river of forgetfulness.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I just want to mention regarding Ahmed's question just now about the memory, and also in your talk you initially mentioned that everything here in the world, you are the highest or you are the biggest, I think you are referring to the soul, or the power that is within us is such powerful. And in the Baha'i writings, it's mentioned that man perceives in two ways. I think we have mentioned in the last meeting also. Man perceives in two ways. One through the bodily organs, like the eyes and the ears and the like, and the other one through the without the bodily organs. And the inner spirit or the soul have also 5 powers: imagination, thought, comprehension, and memory. These are the powers of the inner power of the soul or the spirit. And Abdul Baha explains that the 5th power is the common faculty between the soul and the brain. So the soul and brain are connected, always connected. There is information both ways. So that's the 5th power of the soul. So the memory, the bodily defects or sickness does not affect the capacity of the soul. So the memory and imagination and comprehension of the soul is still intact. But how it is expressed outwardly, and that is where the problem is, that the physical aspect of it. Okay, and let me ask Panja. Panja wants to say something. She is from Malaysia.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Radhi. You gave an excellent explanation to many aspects of life. I can foresee your references to all Vivekananda and all. And I understand your concept of life and philosophy. My question is, with all these forces of our time, what do we focus on in life for today? In this age and time, what do we have to focus on? Because we have so many things around us. We are distracted in life. We have material, intellectual, spiritual knowledge. And looking at all these, need of each person is different. The layman wants food, as you say, the story of the fisherman. The intellect wants more thirst for knowledge. And the spiritual are seeking for a solution to the world problems. So what, in your thoughts and understanding, what should be our focus in life for today? Is it for me, for my selfish self, or for others, or for society, or for humanity? Can you please enlighten me on this? Thank you very much.
All the answers are in your questions itself, ma'am. We must live for ourselves, then for the sake of humanity also. First, we must build our character, mind in a proper way. We must be leading a healthy life. And after that, we must try to help others. With the blessings of God only, we can help. Otherwise, not.
Yeah, but it's not easy for everybody because the needs of time are different. To a poor man, he wants food and work. To a rich man, he wants to spend his time usefully doing service. So how do we compromise all these needs of time and bring humanity to one focal point in life, which is the will of God? How do we understand the purpose of our life in this world?
Okay. The inner mind is our God. What your inner God says, please focus on it. You need not ask anyone outside this world. Your inner God will talk to you. If you just close your eyes and what to do next, that God will guide you. That is what the inner soul has such power. In this modern world, because of using these modern gadgets, we forget our own power. That's why I again and again say that what your inner mind says, walk in that right path. With the blessings of God, we will do everything certainly. Either it will be a poor person or rich person.
Okay, that's
Our
good.
to what God says we have to do.
Okay, now my question is again, what is God saying? Now I don't understand because I did study about different spiritual leaders in this world. Each one
Okay.
said the best thing, the good thing for their time. So I'm now contemplating which is the best answer for me today, because I love Jesus, I love Moses, I love Buddha, I love Gandhi, I love Vallalar, I love everybody. But where is the answer to my quest for today? This is my question. Thank you.
I think what Panja's question and Dr. Ravi gave, what is the inner God? I think this quotation that we read today, I think Tracy read it. And the, "O man of two visions, close one eye and open the other. Close one to the world and all that in, and open the other to the hallowed beauty of the beloved that is within." Probably when we become detached to the external world, we become aware of that inner power, which is in tune with that Almighty. And so when Dr. Ravi said that the inner God, probably this is what she mentioned. And also the last quotation, I don't know, this one, word out upon, I'm sorry, I am introducing these things because it is something important for us to understand the relationship between us and God, or the spirit or soul and God. Word thou to ponder in thine heart, from now until the end that hath no end, and with all the concentrated intelligence and understanding which the greatest minds have attained in the past or will attain in the future, this divinely ordained and subtle reality, I believe it refers to the soul, but if anyone has a different understanding, let me know. This divinely ordained and subtle reality, this sign of the revelation of the all-abiding, all-glorious God, thou wilt fail to comprehend its mystery or to appraise its virtue. Having recognized thy powerlessness to attain to an adequate understanding of that reality, that's again the soul, which abided within thee, thou wilt readily admit the futility of such efforts as may be attempted by thee or by any of the created things to fathom the mystery of the living God, the day star of unfading glory, the ancient of everlasting days. This confession of helplessness, which mature contemplation must eventually impel every mind to make, is in itself the agony of human understanding and marketh the culmination of man's development. So my understanding from this is that the subtle reality that is within us, all the intelligence and everything, however much we try, how much we are educated or knowledgeable or intelligent or smart or whatever we call, we will not be completely understand the mystery of that reality. And then if we admit that we cannot understand this one, then we will not be, if we are unable to understand the mystery that is within us, how is it possible to understand the mystery of God? And it will be futile to try and understand the mystery of God. And that understanding, that the confession, this confession of helplessness, which mature contemplation must eventually impel every mind to make, in itself is the agony of human understanding. That's the highest understanding we can get. So I think when she mentioned that the inner God, she's referring to that, the soul that is within us, which is the sign of God, or the whatever, again, we are able to understand. So clarification, my prayers, if we ask ourselves the question, probably the inner soul will try to give us answer.
Should we look forward to a special guidance from God? Can we feel that we need the guidance because we're asking a lot of questions? How do we get the answer? Is this the searching of the soul, which is the spiritual foundation in the world of man, without which we cannot find the answer? So do we need a guidance from God from time to time? This is my question.
Certainly, ma'am. Though we may love many gods in front of us, like Jesus Christ or Prophet Muhammad or Buddha, there is a God in you and me. So we must always have that hope. God is with me. We can find that the strength and ultimate hope in Jesus Christ or Buddha, okay, who has conquered that the death even. Okay, so we have to sympathize with the human suffering, as well as we must try to extend our self-giving compassion also. We must take care of those people who are suffering in front of our eyes, and we must always ask the inner guidance that God to do all the activities, certainly.
Eva, can I say something regarding this question? I think Abdul Baha says that today is today's time. The world is in need of humanity to serve humanity. So our aim should be towards world unity, because the world needs that, and service to humanity. As Dr. Roth is saying, if we see hardship for our fellow man, we should try to alleviate that, help them in any way that we can. So our aim should be service to humanity.
Are you happy, Panja?
Yes. I'm very amazed at Madam Rati's answers, because she is something very deep, and she knows the inner truth, and she's getting there to guide us. So it's an excellent talk which I heard from her from India. I understand the Indian mind, so I'm at one with her. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Yung.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravi and Perry.
Thank you.
As you done your major study in English, you must have done Anglo-Saxon languages, just like Celtic and Gaelic. And I'm just asking you a very simple question. How do you think about unity? Especially if we have unity, or if we are so close to unity, why do we need United Nations? It's a political question. And on a diplomatic level, and I just say, if people are so spiritual, I mean, talk about your speech is very valuable, but it's best suited with a healthy mind, people with healthy mind and have resources in the upper class standing. But with the people who are not so lucky, how the United Nations coming to help them, and how your position in that sort of setting to help people.
You want to answer me about unity, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes. See, I could give this example. If we look at our hand, how this palm, this hand is divided into 5 fingers. When these 5 fingers are united together, only this whole nation, all the nations, of course, will achieve a lot. But when the little finger or thumb finger or middle finger says that I am great, this nation is great, that nation is great, nothing will happen. So unity, it is born from the God, the whole and the supreme power, the spiritual power. So all human beings are equal before this supreme God, supreme soul. So we must be lenient towards that supreme soul. And if we are lenient towards that supreme soul, we will be united together and we will live this life in a happy way.
But then we will not need United Nations.
No, united.
No, I'm talking about United Nations, UN. So we don't need them. So why they're there?
She's asking, do we need then United Nations?
Why do we then need United Nations?
Yes, you know the organization, UN, no? United Nations organization. Why do we need? That's the question.
There should not be no walls between 2 countries, of course.
That's, you know why people study foreign language? Because they want to work for foreign affairs, because they want to help the people from other countries. So therefore, and this is an international language. So therefore, the knowledge has got to be broad.
Thank you. Thank you, Jung. And I believe that is a comment, and we'll ask Colin to question or comment.
Thank you, Dr. Rathi. I enjoyed that talk because I could understand it. It was, the concepts were very clearly expressed and something I could easily relate to. So thank you very much for that. And the link which Perry provided earlier to your YouTube channel, I just glanced at it and I can see that you don't procrastinate. You do a lot of community service. I'm just wondering what kind of service do you find most enjoyable and helpful?
Sir, what's the kind of service? What's your question, sir?
Oh yeah, it looks as if you do. You're involved in quite a few community service activities.
Yes, sir. Actually, we adopted a village. We adopted a village called Thirali, nearer to Madurai, Thirumangalam district. So we did service to all those people. We stayed there for a week and we rendered the service to all those people.
And I think his question was, which kind of service that you enjoy most?
Oh, we enjoy the most.
You enjoy most.
Yes. When we talked with those village people did not see us a different person from other place. They are all close to our hearts. They are all close to our mind. Really, I enjoyed all those people. Even now, after 2 months, we had a medical camp. With their own suggestions, we had a medical camp. And they were all very happy to see, oh, Rathi. They called me by name also. I was so happy to talk with all the wise people also in the village.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's what we all like to see. I mean, in a Zoom meeting, we can only share ideas by talking, but it's really good to see that we're doing things out there as well. It looks wonderful. Thank you.
We could see humanity from village people, that humanity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Tracy.
I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for encouraging us to, value that God is with us, if we pause, and follow our heart and conscience, then our action will be, help God's providence. That was the thoughts that sort of, when also Panjo was talking and Ahmed, just sort of, and, from your before their comments and questions and after, your encouragement for us to value our own heart and conscience. That's like the front line with the divine. And it just became more clearer and substantial within me from your enthusiasm and your comments. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, now there are a few people who are not actually commented or asked question. Vasanda, in Jiva. Yes, if you don't have any question or comment, okay, Vasanda.
In your presentation, you mentioned something about ego and how does it prevent us from our progress or to be detached, or if you could expand a bit more about on that.
Did you get the question?
Egoistic.
Yeah. How does it affect our progress? She wants you to explain.
Egoistic, that attitude will kill our soul, of course. It will not allow us to move forward. Further actions we cannot carry out. So first thing, we must treat equally all, either it may be junior or senior. I would always oblige the words of the juniors and seniors. I would see them equally. So there won't be any ego in my mind.
And also one more thing, what type of service you do in the village?
In the village, ma'am?
What type of service that you offer? On
Actually,
your own or with few people you get together and do service?
Yes, ma'am. We planted many trees, saplings. Then we gave awareness on their way of healthy life, how to live, how to practice our the cultural food items. Again, we have to rejuvenate it. We told them, and they were so happy. They also gave us many tips. Yes, we have forgotten all these food items, they told. Again, we will start cooking all this, they told. Then we cleaned many temples which are in that village. More than 5 temples we cleaned, and they were all so happy. Then we cleaned the school also. We gave awareness to those school students. Primary school was also there. Then a government high school also there.
Okay, thank you very much.
So that is with your students, is that right?
With our students, yes, sir. Yes.
Good.
With the help of our students.
Okay, and Young? You have to unmute. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ravi. And Perry, I'm going to ask you the question that you like to hear. If the student asks you to read them the poems, and you're going to read them your poem or American poem or English poem. And if you read American poem, which is your favorite poets, like Edgar, Allan Poe, or Robert Frost, which one you prefer?
Robert Frost or Edgar Allan Poe?
Yeah, which one you prefer?
I prefer to read Edgar Allan Poe's poetry.
You like him better?
Yes, I love Edgar Allan Poe very much.
And how about your poem? Can you read us one?
I shall say a quote from Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Shall I?
Do you ask for her poem or the other poem? Which one did you ask, Yong?
What's coming to her mind first?
Did you ask one of her poems?
Well, if she talk about her poem, you understood her poem. But if she talk about American poems, then we all understood. We will understand the poem.
Okay.
Hopefully, because people had to teach poem in at uni, so people can understand poems.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can say one of the poems that you like.
Okay. There is a poet called Edgar Allan Poe in America. He lived between 1806 to 1856. He wrote a poem called The Raven. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly capping, suddenly there came a tapping at my chamber door. Like this, the poem, it goes 108 lines, sir. I love that poem.
It's lovely. You should be coming to Sydney the Opera House.
Yes, yes.
And you do dancing all the time too? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can you read one of your own poems, please?
Sure, sir, sure. Shall I take my poetry book? One second. This is my first anthology, Blessing Peacocks. I have to thank all my teachers who initiated this effort. They wrote forward to my book also. Professor Arjunan sir, Sri Krishnan sir, Meenakshi ma'am, and all my professors. They encouraged me to write poems. Rajalakshmi ma'am, Sastekar Panikar sir. I am always grateful to my teachers. I will read my poem.
The one that you very much like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Honored is he who wears a crown of tolerance. Heart of a real person is fearlessness. Apply truth on lips, the best lipstick in the world. Draw an eyelash of confidence around eyes. Remove the dirt of frailty. Well dressed with an apron of honesty. Apply the powder of simplicity. Build around you a castle of patience and let in a breeze of obeisance. Sniff and spread everywhere an air of continence. Learn and seize the minute of affection. Shake your days by meditating condign concentration. Make your days full of satisfaction so that your life may become adulation. This is my poetry on Crown of Man.
That's very beautiful. That's a beautiful poem. And one day I will read you my poem. We have a chance to meet again. But I only wrote for West Point Military Academy, the academy there in America. Yeah. Thank you so much.
When you are giving your talk, you can read the poem.
Thank you very much, Ravi. It was good.
It's only personal, yeah, thank you. But it's
I think Colin wants to say something.
Okay, Colin.
No, that was thumbs up because I like the poem.
Yes, probably.
Can I say something regarding the United Nations that Yoon raised? The answer is yes, we need the United Nations. Because of what? Because the world is not united yet and hasn't happened yet. And in order to get that unity, we need all means. And perhaps although United Nations is not effective as we like it, but it's a means in order to bring that unity. And Baha'u'llah has said that we should have a bold parliament so that members from all over the world would come there and consult for this unity. So maybe in the future we will achieve that.
Thank you. And the
Tracy want to say something.
okay, Tracy.
I was just giving my thumbs up to what Allan said.
Oh, thank-
The
Zore wants to say something.
who?
Zore.
If you have time, just one minute. I
Yes.
wanted to ask Dr. Ravi to do the steps to do focus. I think you said, what is counting steps? I didn't get that. I thought if you go just repeat step by, I mean, all that for few things for focus, how to focus.
No, Mom. In a day, when you are walking, at least 5 minutes, count your steps. 1 pace, 2 pace, 3 pace, when you are walking. If you count your steps, that may increase your concentration and positive thoughts also.
Okay. That was one. And then the other one was to...
Because walking is good for not only our health, it is good for our soul also. ஆத்மாவே வலிமை பெறும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. In Tamil, I quote, walking is not only good for our body, it is good for our soul. Many people forget to walk at present. Man is meant for walking. So walk. That's what I tell. Spend your hours, at least half an hour in the morning or in the evening for walking. We would be having healthy mind and healthy spirit.
Is there a reason to say how does walking help your spirit? How do you have a little bit explanation? I know for health, but I want to know for the health of spirit.
When our feet touches our ground, the earth, we feel this earth. Without slippers or shoes, we must walk actually.
Yeah.
That we have so many
connection with the...
We cannot walk without slippers or shoes. Actually, we must practice what our ancient says, our ancestors says. Without wearing slippers, only I used to take class for my students also. So that the students may grasp whatever I tell.
Beautiful.
Is it the interaction with nature?
Being one with the nature, that is one kind of
Yes.
being one with nature, without
Nature,
wearing
right.
slippers.
Right.
Okay. Young, you still have a question?
Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, Perry. Ahmad question answer. Just want to let you know that's only my testing question. I actually know why United Nations is supposed to be there. But thank you anyway, Ahmad. I said, just see if anybody want to answer that questions. Thank you very much.
Okay. When you were reading your poem, Dr. Ravi, in my mind, this particular quotation from Baha'u'llah came to my mind. I don't know how much it aligned with your poem, but this is what Baha'u'llah said. Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be worthy of the trust of thy neighbor and look upon him with a bright and friendly face. Be a treasure to the poor and admonisher to the rich, an answerer to the cry of the needy, a preserver of the sanctity of thy pledge. Be fair in thy judgment and guarded in thy speech. Be unjust to no man and show all meekness to all men. Be as a lamp unto them that walk in darkness, a joy to the sorrowful, a sea for the thirsty, a heaven for the distressed, an upholder and defender of the victim of oppression. Let integrity and uprightness distinguish all thine acts. Be a home for the stranger, a balm to the suffering, a tower of strength for the fugitive. Be eyes to the blind and a guiding light under the feet of the erring. Be an ornament to the countenance of truth. That's the lipstick that you wanted to wear, right? A crown of brow of fidelity, a pillar of the temple of righteousness, a breath of light to the body of mankind, an ensign of the hosts of justice, a luminary above the horizon of virtue, a dew to the soil of human heart, an ark on the ocean of knowledge, a sun in the heaven of bounty, a gem on the diadem of wisdom, a shining light in the firmament of thy generation, and a fruit upon the tree of humility. I don't know why. I mean, when you read your poem, this came to my mind, so I thought I would share this one. And also, is this the poem that you read, Edgar Allan Poe?
Yes, this is the poem, The Raven.
Not this one, right?
Yes, the same poem. Yes.
And for those who are interested, these are some of the books that Dr. Ravi has written, translations of 9 divine songs from Tamil to English. Wisdom Word, 99 chords. The Power of Mind, select works of T.T. Rangarajan and Robin Sharma. She mentioned Robin Sharma when he was talking. And Blessing Peacocks, an anthology of poems. And this is available on Amazon and Flipkart. So if anyone is interested, I can put it in our interfaith group and you can see these things. But that was very, very interesting talk and a lot of wealth of knowledge. And probably you are younger than almost everyone here. She's as old as my eldest daughter. Hopefully you will come again one day. And also I would like to ask your students who are capable of articulating ideas like this in this forum, because we want to encourage younger generation to take this path, and also share the actual service you do with your students in yours. That is more important in our life. If you want to bring a united, peaceful world, the service, the sacrifice that you mentioned is very important. So thank you. And is there any last thoughts anyone want to add? Otherwise, we can close because it's almost 9:11 here.
Certainly, I will introduce all my students who are interested. Actually, is it a dream or vision I had? Whether it is reality or dream, because Ahmed sir, then Zebra ma'am, then Tracy ma'am, then another, all these persons, I have to thank you a lot. I need your blessings too in my life and career. I'm so happy that you all attended. I thank Siva Peri sir, who united all of us in this online platform. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless everyone. And we hope to see everyone next week.
See God and everyone, their blessings also. Thank you very much.
Hope to see you again at the Opera House, Sydney.
Thank
Thank you so much, Ave Maria.
Could I ask Dr. Ravi to put her poem into this interfaith, the one which you talk about, or the one you said it yourself? You read it tonight.
Yeah, the poem, right?
Yeah, right. Can I add you to our group, WhatsApp group? Is that okay? Can I add you to our WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. God bless you.